Alright, let's take a look at Decentraland on Mana. It's been a long time. I think last time we looked at Decentraland was like at least a couple weeks ago. And we kind of like get lost in this Bitcoin retracement. Obviously, when Bitcoin retrace, all the altcoins, including Decentraland retrace. Decentraland, after reaching an all-time high at 5.9, now it is currently trading at $3.40, which is gave up almost half in about 3 weeks. But looking at the chart, I think Decentraland is poised for this reversal in price. Here's why. When Bitcoin crashed, we saw the price of Decentraland get affected by the crash, and it dropped all the way down to about 250, dropped below the 50 days, but bounced right back up and closed the day higher. So this is the first signal that, hey, at the 50 days moving average, buyers are definitely stepping in to prevent further breakdown. And yesterday, we saw the price retrace, drop, and tested the 50 days, bounce right back up. This validates the point that buyer will step in and prevent the price from breaking down below the 50 days moving average. So Decentraland ended up closing the day higher than the low. And what we have here is a very nice hammer. And we all know that normally when there's a hammer appearing on a downtrend, followed with some sort of confirmation signal, that is something that we're looking at right now. Currently, Mana is trading higher. So if Mana can close the day in green, this could confirm this potential bullish reversal setup. Even though Mana has been trending down for the past 3 weeks, one thing that I like is looking at the value. When the price was spiking up, we see this significant increase in buying volume. But when the price was trending down, the sell volume is really low. So this to me is an indication that the drop in price is really due to weak hands, or the people who look at Bitcoin retrace got scared and then they decide to close the position. We don't see a massive increase in sell volume. This is an indication that major institutional investors or whales are not dumping. And the nice thing is every time when the price rebound, we see the buy volume pick up. So this is a very good sign. The retracement here is just an immediate reaction to the drop in Bitcoin. Now, the 50 days is providing this support. This really confirms that there's a very high probability that we could potentially see this bullish reversal in price. And I did an analysis on Bitcoin early today. I am starting to get a lot more optimistic about Bitcoin. And if my prediction about Bitcoin turns out to be true, then we are looking at altcoin beginning to trend up from this point on. Let's take a look at Mana on this 4-hour chart. After spike up, ran all the way to about 590, Mana started to retrace. And the minute it tried to stabilize over the prior high at 495 and got rejected, after that, the price very much trended down following this downward channel. And it finally dropped below this very strong support at 430. Broke down below 430, also dropped below this prior support trend line. After that, the price very much went on this free fall. And then Bitcoin crashed. That caused Mana to drop all the way down to about 250. At this point, it also tested the 200 days moving average, bounced right back up, retest the resistance of this downward trend line, got rejected. Found support at 320, bounced up, but again, it get rejected. The price retraced, dropped down to retest the 320, and also at this point, it was testing the 200 days moving average. Now it is bouncing back up. So there is a very high probability that at this point could potentially be a double bottom. And technically, a reverse from this double bottom should take Mana initially to retest this prior high. And momentum could likely push that to retest this important resistance at 430. So this is a very good sign. And given the fact that I do believe that there's a very high probability that Bitcoin may stabilize from this point on, Mana would likely trend up to retest 430. Major resistance including 350, 380, and then 430. Now let's look at Mana on this daily chart. Yesterday, the price dropped, bounced right off this 50 days moving average. And at this point, it could potentially set up this double bottom with this prior low. And right now, Mana is trending up. The first resistance should be at around 350. I expect Mana to be able to cross over that. And the next resistance is right at this 10 days moving average, which is this red line at around 360, 365. That's going to be the key. If Mana can cross over this 10 days moving average, then it should be able to cross over the 380 and eventually run up and test this major resistance at 430. Looking at the stochastic oscillator, we are starting to see the possibility for this crossover where the blue signal line is about to cross over and is leading the red signal line, and that would be an indications that the price would likely stabilize and trend higher from that point. I really hope that Mana can close today in green, preferably over 350. That would give us the confirmation signal that we are looking for. So the combination of these two candles could potentially provide us with an indications that Mana would likely begin this bullish reversal from this. So for me, I am starting to get more optimistic with Mana. I do believe that there's a very high probability that this could be the bottom for this retracement. And right now, if Mana can continue to find strong support at this 50 days moving average, then at the price where it is right now, which is below 350, is just a great entry price to accumulate. One thing we still have to keep in mind is as long as the price trade below this 10 days moving average, there is always that possibility that seller can continue to drive the price down. But at the same time, the positive side is it seems like the 50 days should provide really strong support. Ideally, I like to see Mana trade over the 10 days, which is at around the 360, 365, and then cross over the 380, stabilizing over 380. Then we're looking at it run up to 430, cross over 430. Then technically, as part of this double bottom, we could potentially see Mana run up and to retest the 495 and could potentially reach about 530. That's it for this video, and don't forget to click that like button and reward me with a like if you appreciate the content that I'm presenting. Also, if you are new to my channel, don't forget to click that subscribe button and subscribe, and make sure you turn notification on. And if you have Twitter, make sure you follow me at Vietmaxim, because I provide constant update on all of our favorite cryptos.